So if you've been following this series of videos, you know that we have been studying the Noble Eightfold Path, and we've already discussed the first three. Those are right view, right intention, and right speech. The fourth one is right action, and right action divides into several subcategories. One is non-harming, one is don't take that which is not freely given, or what we would call don't steal. And the third one is be careful about your sexual conduct. I mean, there's lots of ways we can say that. That's the way I want to say it for right now. So to get into right action, I thought that we needed to take a detour, it's a slight detour, into what is called the Brahma Viharas, or the four immeasurables, or the four paths to love. And I know it's a lot of numbers and paths and gates, and I get it. I mean, but you have to remember that Buddhism was taught mouth to ear for centuries. These monks, and they were mostly monks, had to memorize these things, and they did it by saying, well, there's four of those, so I've only hit three, so I got to find one, I got to know one more. And they had to remember that there was 4 of these, 8 of these, 16 of these. And so there's a lot of numbered list in Buddhism, which kind of makes it great for people who are trying to teach it now, because these lists have been written about over and over and over again, and you can find them almost anywhere. But I would suggest that you start with Pema Chodron. She's not in my lineage exactly. She is a Tibetan teacher and one of the best teachers anywhere. So if you're looking for just a simple way to understand some of these things, and you want to start reading books about it, start with her. I'll link some of her stuff in the description of this particular video. But back to the Brahma Viharas. I wanted to get to the Brahma Viharas just to say that they will help with the first subcategory of non-harming. Like I said before, these are not thou shalt nots. Thou shalt not kill is not the beginning and end all for us. For us, it's avoid harming, period. Don't kill, don't hurt anybody, avoid these things to the best of your ability. But go further than that. Instead of just stopping, why don't you replace that action with one that is more positive, one that is more in the direction of the things that you want to do and the person that you want to be. Our practice starts with our letting go of things that are unworthy of who we are. But it doesn't end there. We stop harming, and then we start loving, which brings me back to the 4 immeasurables. The 4 immeasurables are the 4 pathways to love are a way to replace our harming, our hatred, our greed with something that is more positive and more in the direction that we are trying to move. So the 4 immeasurables are actually on this eightfold path that I keep saying is not a path, because we're not trying to go, we're trying to become. This is all a practice. So the 4 immeasurables are metta. I think anybody who's ever heard anything about Buddhism have heard some M words. One of them is meditation, one of them is mindfulness, and one of them is probably metta. Metta is the Pali word. In Sanskrit, it's Maitri, but it's the same. It means the same thing. And what it means is loving kindness. I'm always saying, be more loving, be more kind, because loving kindness is one of the ways into love. The second one is karuna. Karuna was actually the name of my teacher, and it's actually a part of my Buddhist name. Karuna means compassion. The third one is mudita. And I wanted to get to this one. Mudita has been translated as joy, expansive joy, being happy for other people, which is the one that I like, but it's a little more wordy. If you're a happy dude, I'm happy too, that kind of thing. Or sympathetic joy, which for me sounds like it's going in two different directions. I have joy for you and I have sympathy for you. But what it really means is, as the Buddha described it, is that the human capacity for love is infinite. That if you are going out and doing something beautiful for yourself, I am there with you and I am loving you through it and I am happy for you. You graduated from the same college that I wanted to get into. If I am practicing pure mudita, then I am as happy for you getting into that college as I would have been for myself getting into that college. It's hard. This is a hard practice, but man, if you can get there, it opens up so many possibilities. You will find yourself defending people that you have nothing in common with, that you actually did not think that you don't like, but you have this well of love that you can send out to the world, and it can land on each and every person. Sympathetic joy, mudita. I'm happy if you're happy. Man, if you got what you want out of life, then I'm happy for you. Period. I'm not happy for you a little bit and then jealous of you a little bit. I am just happy for you. You do you, man. You do you, my sister. I love you. I love you. I love you. This is the type of love that I like to tap into when I'm talking to my sisters and brothers who are out there on the hustle and they're making strides. This is the kind of love that I like to tap into. You go. I am so proud of you. It's the kind of love that when we see people that we honestly don't know, but we have this commonality with, we know how hard it was for them to get where they were. In May and June, we start seeing people who are starting to get their acceptance letters from all of these colleges, and there's always like some little brother or some young sister who got into all of the Ivy Leagues or something, and you can feel yourself honestly feeling great for them. That's what this is. That's what sympathetic joy is. It's not, I'm glad for you, but I wish my kid had done it too, or I'm glad for you, or I wish I could do it too. I'm just glad for you. Congratulations. So that's sympathetic joy. The fourth and the last of the four immeasurables, or the four paths to love, or how to love the world as a parent would, that's another way that the Buddha described this, is equanimity. And equanimity is accepting people as they are, loving people anyway. Is he a jerk? Sure. Is he a person that's ruining things for you? Maybe. But love them anyway. Equanimity is very difficult. The Buddha says it's really difficult, but it is worth trying to do. And the reason it's worth trying to do is because if you can get there, you can love people where they are, knowing that this is not the last stop on this ride, that they may not be the best human being right now, but know that everybody wants the same stuff. Everybody is trying to move into improvement, regardless of whether or not we even agree with what they call improvement. They are trying to improve, and we are trying to improve. So that's a place right there where we can start to love everyone where they are. Four immeasurables, the Brahma Viharas. Thank you.